Once again, guys, we have gone way, 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 way deep into the sewers to find some more Ninja Turtle buried treasure books. Joined by our good friend Christian across the pond, TMNT Talk. So, dude, last week we had almost a sneak peek with one of those books where you were like, Mike, these are going to be interesting. There might be a prequel to the cartoon in these books somewhere. And, dude, you were so right. Just reading these next books we're about to cover. How much fun did you have reading Mikey's Haunted House and Raphael's and Leonardo's solo books?
Oh, it's as you said, they really feel like a prequel to another series or anything. It's kind of strange that I never got to read them. They're like its own universe. It's really like it got inspiration from other stuff, like the cartoon, a little bit of TMNT adventures in there, but it's like it's whole different thing. And it's also weird that you don't have that much information on the internet, like on the Turtlepedia or anything. There is not much information about these books, even though they're its own whole thing. So I had so much fun, like reading through them and experiencing them and just finding out about them. It's like crazy what all came out back then. So much stuff.
Oh my God. And like you say before we went live, we're probably going to find more, Mikey, my boy. We can't promise our audience that we have found everything because that is very difficult to say when we continue to find books that just come up out of nowhere. But we're doing our best here on Shellonomics and TMNT Talk on Spotify, YouTube. All right, dude. Well, let's get into quiz time here. I want to, you can feel free to break this down. It came out in the 90s by Jeff Rovin, I believe the author's name was. It's got a lot of stuff in there. I want to hear your opinion first before I share mine.
Yeah, we got the unauthorized TMNT quiz book, and yeah, that one came out in 1990, and it's just what it says. It's a quiz book with like trivia, like what's in there. It's movie trivia, talking about the creation of the turtles, like talking about Eastman and Laird, turtle weapons, the turtles on TV, turtle toys. There are even questions about the movie poster, the movie soundtrack, the, as they call it, the Nintendo games video game, the trading cards, even so much else. And they really go into depth. They like have everything that was around in 1990. So there's nothing about like the sequel movies or anything that came after that. And also, I found it interesting that between like these sections with the trivia questions, we also get some facts in between about the turtles, about Eastman Laird, the artists behind the turtles, the weapons, etc., etc. So yeah, it's a fun quiz book, but also cool information, cool background information. So it's once again a book worth checking out, I gotta say.
Did you ever did you ever go to bar trivia nights? When you were in your early 20s or 30s with people?
Not bar trivia, but like at our mall, we have once a month. There's a quiz day, like a quiz hour that I participated in sometimes and have a lot of fun with some friends. So that's the stuff I do, and yeah, these questions they could use them there too.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I would have gave this guy a lot of credit. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. Just a couple weird ones was the years Eastman and Laird were born. I don't think, unless you're like a super Wikipedia nerd, I don't think some of these questions were like, just why? But most of them were pretty cool ones that I never really thought about. I want to know what your favorites were. Mine, which was a great question, was for the Turtles TV, what sticks on the screen after Raphael throws the pizza? I never knew that one. That's a good question. That's something that, you would think we would know. He got me on that one. Did you get that one right? And what are some of your favorites in this book?
Oh yeah, as I said, they really go into depths. Like with the poster, when they're talking about the poster, it's like the question from left to right. In what order are the turtles on the movie poster? And I've seen the poster like a million times, but I would not be sure, to be honest here. And also one of them I thought was very cool was like the the um, the episode titles, that they have like episode titles, and like one of them is not really episode title, and there's like one or two mistakes in there, or episode titles that did not exist when this book was written. So nowadays you would get it wrong, but back then it's like, yeah, like there was an episode, Turtle Track, and back in 1990 that episode did not exist, but it was an episode in the eighth season. It was the season finale of season 8. So nowadays you would say like all of these episode titles are right. So it's really interesting. It's like a time capsule of 1990 turtle stuff. So it was really interesting.
Yes, I did write you and I said, hold on a minute now. When you're a quiz book like this, we want perfection, and turtles everywhere, I am pretty sure is an episode, and you threw out a great, not counterpunch, but just for, hey, Mike, you got to remember, this book came out in 1990. Season 3, just because it was published in 1990 doesn't mean it was actually complete by then, because it seems like you didn't really have much season 3 info. It was mostly seasons 1 and 2, because New York's Shiniest was in that trivia question too, and that was an official one. So either way, a really fun read, because we've been around a while. I've actually was Mr. Perfect in a trivia at a Comic-Con. It was just all turtle trivia. Unless it was Michelle Ivy or yourself, or Justin from Epic Tales, or Brian Van Hooker, I'd like to say I'd be a front-running candidate for that. So dominated those, and it's always fun when you get that extra nerd jab where it's like, hold on a minute, this is a wrong question here, because that happened at the convention too. So either way, and then there's always those. Have you ever randomly Googled, there's actually like Ninja Turtles Jeopardy? People make up their own Jeopardy, and it's so painful because the questions are just gimmies. Fill in the blank, Toka, and it's like, anybody, even my, like, if I had your kids would probably get it without even having to think twice.
Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff like quizzes that people did themselves, like the Ultimate Turtle Quiz, or like other stuff when you see like people at conventions, you say,
Yeah.
doing quizzes, and I'm checking them out. I'm seeing them on like on YouTube or anything, and I'm like, that wasn't right. It's like I remember like one of the quizzes said like, okay, who is the oldest of the turtles? And I'm sitting there like, in what universe? It differs from universe to universe. So
right.
you cannot say like, I think he said, it's Donatello. And yeah, that's right. And like, in what universe? It can be true, but it doesn't have to be. So
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. Just like the next book we're going to break down, apparently Krang is a big whiner in the unauthorized history of Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that was also very cool. That the book was called is called Turtle Power: The Unauthorized History of the TMNT, and yeah, it's also from 1990. So it goes really over everything that existed back then. I thought it was very interesting. Like they talk about the origin, about the cartoon and comic. Then we get some information about the characters like Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo. Then turtle friends and foes. I thought that was very interesting. Like the good guys, they talk about Splinter, April, Casey, Ace Duck, Genghis Frog, Metalhead, Danny Bennington, Usagi Yojimbo, Wingnut, and Screwloose. So it's kind of random. I mean, they put in like the toys from back then. So it's like, okay, they are like the main toys from back then. The same thing with the bad guys. We have the Shredder, the Foot, who are the Foot Soldiers, Krang, Baxter Stockman, Rocksteady, Bebop, Red King, and General Track. So, but also information about like how the turtles began, the turtles on the screen, which is about the movie, about turtles video and vinyl, like the movie soundtrack, turtles toys and merchandising, and one section was called Nintendo Turtles, which talks about the first NES game. I thought it was also interesting, like turtle speak, where we got description of turtle expressions like cowabunga. What does cowabunga mean? Where does it come from? And in the end, we also got some turtle trivia and a quiz. So, like did you pay attention, kids? Now you can take this quiz when you read the book. So I thought that was a really cool book. Once again, a little time capsule for 1990 with everything Turtle that existed back then. And yeah, that I thought it was a really, really cool, entertaining book.
No, I'm curious if the writer had trouble with the Nintendo video game because he stops after the dam. He doesn't get into more details.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he probably says, I can't do this for the book. It'll end there. None of the kids are going to beat this game anyways. So I thought that was kind of funny. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a good... I still have that book from my childhood. I think either my grandma or aunt got me that one. So again, just when Turtle Mania was around, and the book retailed for $5 out here in the USA. So I wonder, again, like we talked about too, guys, these are the things we're covering here. Everybody always says, oh man, these figures are too much money nowadays. These books you can still get at a very affordable price and in good condition too. So everybody wants to have, some Turtle nostalgia from the 90s and Turtle Mania. These are highly recommended, especially what's coming next, dude. This is probably going to be our favorite segment here. These next four we're about to cover with Raphael, starting off with Trouble in Chinatown.
Yeah, these books are original stories, not based on anything. So these are very interesting. And like the Raphael story, like last week we had the Donatello story, the Radical Robot, and this is like part of the series with Raphael, Big Trouble in Chinatown. I mean, it's so interesting because in this book we have illustrations by Eric Talbot, who was one of the main guys from Mirage Studios, and to see his art in this book is like totally cool. So, as I said, it's an original story where it starts off with Raphael, who gets lost in the sewers one day, and he climbs up into the city and finds himself in Chinatown, where he meets an old Chinese man named Fu Zhen, who invites him into his curio shop. Then three teenage boys come in to demand protection money, but Raphael helps the old man against them, and he knocks two of them out, but the third guy grabs Fu Chen, but Raph is quicker and is able to defeat that boy too and saves Fu Chen. And as a thank you gift, Raph gets a map of the sewers from Fu Chen's curio shop. Then Raph goes back home and tells the others of his adventure and shows them the map with which they will never get lost in the sewers again, like Raphael did at the start of the story. So, yeah, everything comes full circle and it was cool. It's like an original story, very inspired by the classic cartoon, little bit TMNT adventures in there, but it's really its own thing. And I really thought it was cool.
Oh man, yep. Another go. I think that was his first fight too. They were trying to say in this too. I liked Bruce Lee reference, and the more we read these books, Splinter really wanted these guys to have hot cocoa in the cartoon because I think every book mentions he's making them hot chocolate near the end of the book. So either the author or somebody was craving hot chocolate. I guess that's just the norm. Remember the first book we read? I was like, "This is odd," and he's like, "No, Mike, that's what dads do for their kids. They make hot cocoa." So apparently, turtles like hot chocolate in these books. Nice little
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. Now this one is a power up of when you get someone's favorite turtle with someone's favorite scenario here with Mikey and the Haunted House.
Yeah, it's another book in the same vein as the Raphael one, but here the illustrations are by Dan Berger, also one of the guys from Mirage Studios. That was fantastic. And yeah, as I think we mentioned, is like these books, they really feel like a prequel to another series because the Turtles, they feel like they haven't been out yet that much, and it's like their first adventures. And here, the story starts with the Turtles and Splinter as they go to Coney Island amusement park. And after a fun day, the team goes back home. But on the way there, Mikey finds an old skateboard. Donatello repairs the skateboard, and Mikey starts skating around the sewers with it. He goes back to Coney Island and he meets two boys there that he befriends, and they skate around a bit. Then they decide to go to the haunted house of the amusement park. The two boys went into the house, even though it was closed, but the boys didn't come out again. So Mikey decides to go looking for them. Inside the haunted house, he finds his friends and some other kids. And a man in a cape and a mask is hypnotizing them with a pocket watch. Mikey tries to snap the kids out of their trance, but then 3 footbots appear. Mikey fights them with his nunchucks and his skateboard. He defeats 2, and the third one runs off. But before he comes back with the mysterious man, Mikey uses his nunchakos like a pocket watch to hypnotize the kids to follow him out of the haunted house. And once they are outside, the kids return back to normal. Then Mikey goes back home and tells the others. And Splinter thinks that all this, there could be a connection to his old student Oroku Saki. So, dum dum dum, very, very, very big setup there for maybe future stories.
How much fun did you have reading that? Just and a great job by the author too. Like just the script and it's like that's Shredder, ain't it? And then like Mikey, do you think you saw Shredder? Like, woo! It's just these prequel books are they are prequels. They have to be just so enjoyable. I really wish we can find more. Maybe we will. But we've got another one here with Leonardo and with Splinter with some really cool lessons in this one. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Oh yeah, the fourth book in the series is Leonardo the Wilderness Adventure. And in this we have illustrations by Jim Lawson, also a name that we know. In this story, Splinter takes the turtles on a camping trip and they walk through the sewers to get outside of the city. After a day walking through the woods, they build a campfire and Splinter talks with Leonardo while the other turtles fool around. And the next morning, when the turtles awake, Splinter's tent and Splinter himself are gone. As the turtles think that this is a lesson by Splinter to see if they can find their way back home on their own, Leonardo starts using everything that Splinter taught him to lead the turtles home, because Leonardo was the one who was listening to all the lessons that Splinter taught him on this trip, while the other turtles were just fooling around. The turtles even run into a bear, but they don't provoke it and it just walks away. So the bear doesn't care about them. When they come to the sewer entrance, they see a lot of people who are watching birds. And they once again use the lessons taught by Splinter to sneak past them into the sewers. And as the turtles arrive at the lair, Splinter is already waiting for them. He's happy that they have all used his lessons. And late at night, as the turtles are asleep, Splinter reads about some recent break-ins in the city, and there is one man behind it all, a man who is calling himself the Shredder. And as I said before, this really feels like setup for a big storyline in a possible future or something.
Oh man, dude, very very good. And then we have one more here with a nice moment. Splinter taking the spotlight in the title.
Yeah, this one that we read at least was a Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles book, so it must come from the UK, and it's called A Splinter to the Fore. And here, once again, original story, not based on anything. The turtles run into a female ninja in the sewers, and she's called Murazumi Mieko. She is a member of the Little Toe, which is a splinter group of the Foot Clan. I thought it was pretty funny. And she needs the turtles' help as her clan was hired by the Keto Corporation to find out about who is behind the sabotage of a hotel and pleasure park that they are currently planning. Turtles, Splinter, and Mieko travel to upstate New York by plane, but there is trouble with the plane and they almost crash. But Donnie is able to fix the plane, but it turns out that it had also been tampered with. As they then investigate the construction site, they find a batch of fox fur on a fence, and they think it could be a fox spirit, like a Japanese fox spirit, like called Kitsune. Like, whoa, hey, that's a name I didn't expect to hear here. But the turtles find out that it's actually an alien named Karu that is behind the sabotage, and he is a hunter and reminded me pretty much of a predator who came to Earth hundreds of years ago. And this construction of the hotel destroys the nature where he hunts, so he's sabotaging it. There is a fight, and thanks to a laser gun, the cave where the turtles followed Karoo into gets destroyed, and the turtles are caught under the rubble. But Splinter and Karoo have a lengthy fight on a golf course, And when the turtles arrive, as they were able to free themselves from the rubble, Karoo is defeated, and Splinter tells him to leave this world, which he does with his spaceship to never be seen again. So, in a way, this story felt like turtles fighting Predator. So, I was fine with it. It was cool.
Oh yeah. And just at the end, the little jab by Splinter. Foxes are cunning, but rats are sneaky. So always has to have that one. And it's just, and he said it so modestly too. He did that in the 2012 show. Remember so did I win? In regards to those lessons. So I always like that. Dude, these were great. Now, these books are on par, in my opinion, I want to see if you agree or not, with Saturday Morning Adventures, where I'm reading, Splinter's voice as Peter Renaday. How about you?
Oh, it could totally work as a Saturday Morning Adventure storyline. Absolutely. Um, yeah, I could really see that. Like, but hey, who knows? Maybe in the future, like IDW Eric Burnham will find these books and like, hey, I'm gonna turn this into a graphic novel or anything, and I would totally be there for it. Like, take my money, please. So, yeah, it totally feels like turtle stories from like Saturday Morning Adventures or the classic cartoon. Totally fine with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're going to go back to the second and third movie. Well, these are basically recaps. Just want to hear your thoughts on a couple things here. We won't spend too much time. Did you enjoy reading the personality profiles?
Oh yeah, they were fun. Um, they are pretty much the same as in the first movie book, like a bit about the turtle, Splinter, Shredder, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, some of these informations that we got from the characters feel like they're just in for fun. They're not really facts, but they're just for the fun of it, and totally fine with that. That was just entertaining. And gotta say, with this books, I thought it was interesting because, as you said, we also find a novel based on a third movie, but that one was published by Dell Publishing, while the others from the first and second movie that we talked about are were published by Random House. So it seems like there were different novelizations of the movies out there. So yeah, it seems like there's even more books based on the movie out there, but they're pretty much tell the same story, just different writers. So I just wanted to mention that, like, okay, so different publishers produced different books based on the movies. So okay, I guess that's cool. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. You know me.
Oh, of course. And there's a couple more things. So, our the book we had earlier with the trivia, this one came out after. I'm sure with the way that book was set up, I'm sure he would have asked this question. What is Donatello's favorite expression, according to the Secret of the Ooze book? Did you write this down in your notes?
I think I remember it was something like how much for that muffler or
Yes,
something.
I'm not going to pay more
What?
for this muffler. What in the world is that talking about? Where? What muffler? Raphael was,
Never heard
yeah.
Donatello say anything like that.
No, and Raphael was the one with the tire at the junkyard. Donatello didn't do anything with the cars. So, just again, I just say it's always fun. They just figure kids are just going to read anything here. Don't worry about it. So, but yeah, and how about the third movie, the third book, where it was just a splash different of an ending? With the yo, dude, it was Mikey's talking about the pizza. So, what were your thoughts on that? It was fun reading that. It was kind of like almost like a deleted scene for the third movie.
Yeah, in the third movie, I wrote some notes down because the novelization for the third movie, it felt like it was like based on an earlier script or anything. There's some difference in there. Like Mikey gets from April in the beginning a hula hoop ring instead of a lamp. And one of my personal favorites, remember later in the movie when the turtles are surrounded, like, what were you expecting? The Addams family. And in the novel, it's like, what were you expecting? Guns N' Roses. I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mikey even gets wounded by a Norinaga sword. It's like, you're not demons. That didn't happen. He didn't dent his shell. He really wounded him, apparently. So I don't know if that was maybe planned in an earlier stage of the movie, but they're like, we gotta keep it kid friendly, so it just hits him in the shell. Yeah, there's some difference in this book, and I really that's what I really enjoy, not just a straight retelling, but you see some difference in there, and that's what I mean. Like it seems like it's based on an earlier script, so there are some differences in there, but for my part, I really enjoy this when there's some, yeah, as you said, it feels like some deleted scenes or anything.
Yeah, no, I agree with you all the way with that third book because you know the second and first one it was more like they were literally like even quoting everything too with
Mm,
Splinter took out the shredder when you're going through all this, and in the third one it's like wait a second, this is a little different. My brain isn't communicating and comprehending what's being written here. So I did have fun with that one too. We did have one more that we wanted to talk about a little bit just because we're trying to complete everything here. We couldn't find too much, but you got any notes for us with the mystery of the missing pizza?
yeah,
Just a
that's
smidge.
one that we didn't
Yeah.
find. And once again, you don't get much information. I really was looking over the internet, but there's not much information about it. The book is called The Mystery of the Missing Pizza. And it's also comes to life book like the one that we talked about last week called Monsters Among Us. So it's in the same vein. It's from 1993. And once again, the art style looks very much like the TMNT adventure stories. So I would really like to check this one out. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find it, but it exists. So maybe someone out there has it and will be able to show us because I would be really, really interesting because just of the art, as I said, like last time, I'm a big fan of the art and this looks pretty much the same. So I would be interested what that mystery of the missing pizza is all about.
Yes, I am with you all the way, my dude, because there's still a couple more we found for the old turtles, but we're soon, and maybe even as soon as next week, we're going to get into the 2003 turtles that we found. So very excited about that. I guess any other thoughts you had on these books, dude? Just we've said it before, and we'll definitely say it again. We encourage all of you to find these for free, pretty much to read, mostly on the Internet Archive, and it wasn't that hard to find them, right?
Yeah, no, if you're just looking for them on archive.org, you get them. You can borrow them from the site for free. So you can read through them. And yeah, pretty much you just have to search for the title of the book. And most of the time you find them. So to get into these books, just like we did, like dive into them, like new turtle stories. I mean, they're old, they're very old turtle stories, but stories that we haven't read before and stories that you don't get much information from like Turtlepedia or anything. So it's it's a whole new world of turtle books out there.
Yep, nope, I agree, and it's a great way for people to just and thank you to this website just to preserve the history of Ninja Turtles. You know, you're gonna always have your core cartoons, movies, comics, but these kid books they're going to be really hard to find, and it was really fun to actually share these with you because like I've been talking to you about these for almost since we knew each other because I was like, how can I get these on here? And you know, at the time we're like, bro, unless you want to mail these to me, I don't know how else I'm going to be able to read these because I can't find them anywhere. So very thankful we found these, and a couple that I never got to read. Most of those UK ones were very fresh to me, and just it makes you want to go back and start watching season 1 of the 1987 show, doesn't it? Just after reading this prequel, like who is the Shredder?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, now that you mention it, like, okay, there's no mention of April or anything. So could it work as a prequel to the classic cartoon? Have to think about it. Could be possible. Yeah,
Yeah,
very interesting. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Any other favorite questions you had for that trivia? If we ever have a Ninja Turtle showdown, I would definitely recommend using some of those questions. The video game ones were really cool too because I never really knew the names of any of the characters. I just went like, oh, man, that's the Human Torch and that's Rat King jumping around. I never knew the actual names of the characters, and he put me on the spot reading that book.
Oh yeah, like the names from the characters, like taken from the manual. I don't. I cannot tell you them. Like who's the one that Fire Freak or anything. I can't remember his names. No, so yeah, you would get me there with the trivia question about the game, like what's that character called? And like, I have no freaking idea. I can never remember them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We both would have been walking into that trivia night, and we would have been like, "All right, guys, this is going to be easy. We got the Alpha and Omega of Turtle Trivia here teaming up." And wait, what? What is this? Who cares? Peter, Laird, and Eastman were born. I don't know. I thought we were going to talk pizza, and like in episode 3, what did Mikey say? I didn't know we were going to get into this. So, were you shocked when you read that book? Like how like again, not. I'd say we going in confidently with as much Ninja Turtle history you have. Were you shocked about some of those questions in there?
oh, absolutely. As I said, they really go in depth with these, yeah, talking about like single episodes. I mean, that's possible. That's makeable. But as you said, like when were Eastman and Laird born, or like little bits about the poster, or like the cast of the movie. I mean, with the actors, I would get it, but like, okay, who was I don't know who was the the cameraman or anything, like.
Especially for kids, they're not going to know that. They're going to know maybe.
Yeah.
As a kid, you may have gotten Judith Hogue just because April in the credits. That would have been an easy one as a kid, and possibly Kevin Clash for Splinter, just because if you were a fan of Sesame Street. Those are probably the only two, respectfully, that you would know. Even though in those that VHS tape coming out of like the prequel to Turtles 2, it shows some of the actors in there, but like you said, that's a real reach. But I'm glad we found that one. Just another one down here in Shellonomics land covered. And I can't wait, because I'm pretty sure you're going to have these on TMNT Talk eventually. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be next week, but I'm pretty sure we're going to hear a little bit more in depth. And I can't wait to hear those. But for now, if people want more exclusive Ninja Turtle stuff, I know you've been going through those 2012 magazines and whatnot. I know that's been a lot of fun for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm doing that right now on the German part of TMNT The Talk, which is my podcast. But as I always release like English episodes where I talk about the newest comic book stuff. And yeah, TMNT Comics right now are really on fire. There's so much good stuff. And so if you want to hear some about that, check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Talk. Like on every podcast app out there, Spotify, Apple Podcast, whatever, or just check out their website, tmnttalk.com, where you can find all the stuff and all the social media stuff and so on and so forth. So come on over, check it out, and have fun.
Always good, especially being April O'Neil in your Discord. Just every Tuesday and Wednesday, or whatever, is Comics Wednesday or Tuesday? I know every day you always have Wednesday. Like the next Wednesday. Every Wednesday.
Comic Book Wednesday.
Yes, every Wednesday you take care of us and just throw them all out there. Here you go, guys. Saturday Morning Adventures, which is slowly coming to an end, but we still got a couple more of those. So, woof. All right, my dude. Well, we're going to keep doing our TMNT. We're going to continue wearing our archaeology caps here and try to discover some more stuff for you guys here listening to us. Feel free to drop us a line if there's something you want us to cover. Or like Christian said, maybe you guys found that Miss Pizza book that we've been looking for, or some others. I'm going to try and look for this Kazoo book. That's another one I wanted to share. There's a Kazoo movie book I've been wanting to talk to you about. So the hits will just keep on rolling here. But guys, thanks as always for checking us out. Be sure to like and subscribe. And Christian, we hope to have you here next week as always. And until next time.
Until next time, my dudes.